Welcome back to FredTalk. I am your host, Freddie Valoy. Welcome to another exciting episode. I take that back. I honestly don't even know if this one's going to be exciting. I've had a rough day myself, but we're going to see. It'll be. Here's the thing: if you are listening to this episode right now, and I've released it and it's out, that means it was a good one and it's exciting. Because if not, I'm gonna scrap the whole shit. All right. I got a show tonight. My first comedy show. Oh, before I get into stories and 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 headlines and all that stuff, sign up to my Patreon. $5 a month gets you extra content. I get lately I've been divulging some personal shit on there about relationships and whatnot and dating life and all this good stuff. By the way, the dating life is great right now. I got to do a podcast on it. But it's I mean, I'm smiling right now. um so just go on there. I give tips and not tricks, tips and all that, and advice and whatnot. So can't even talk, and I'm starting to sweat. So thank you. All right. So today's my first comedy show, in a minute. So been in New York now about 3 months, and most of it is open mics. So if you don't, just to give you a little bit on comedy, I was told, by the way, to talk about the comedy out here and the transition. I had a few people ask, so that's why I'm doing it. Because I've had a few people ask before, like, why does he talk about himself so much on these solo episodes? It's like, bitch, I'm solo. What the hell am I supposed to talk about? I do headlines. I told personal stories. I got to mix it up, but sometimes I got to talk about me, and this is that moment. So, um, the comedy scene, open mic comedy is terrible, especially in New York, because there's people that leave rooms, they go to other sets. Like, there's a difference between like a regular group of people that have 9 to 5s or just jobs, that people that aren't comedians that go to see comedy. That's like a real audience. Then there's an audience of comedians, aspiring comedians, whatever, open mic comedians that sit in a room, and it's just all of us, and we tell our jokes. And a lot of times people aren't listening, either because the jokes suck, or they're just worried about what they're going to say on their next set. People lose. It happens to me all the time. I get lost quick. I'll daydream and I'm like, oh shit, what is this person talking about? So those types of open mics are a lot tougher. The good thing is that, at the very least, and a lot of comedians stop doing those open mics because they find them to be more harmful than helpful. And I know what they're talking about. It's one of those where I'm like, why the hell did I even leave the house? I could have just done stand up in front of a mirror and gotten the same thing. And you'll do jokes that work. Because if you don't know, we practice jokes. We keep the ones that work. We throw out the shit that doesn't. And then there's other people that can do that and also riff in the moment and all that and all that. But you'll do jokes that work and they'll still bomb at these types of open mics. So a lot of comedians are like, I ain't doing this shit anymore. I'm going to find a way to just get more shows. So either they start their own show, which is a possibility for me, and that helps you get booked. It's kind of a political thing. That's why I kind of hold back. I've held back on even doing it, but it seems like a necessary thing, and seems like a part of the business more so than politics. So let me correct myself on that. So the good thing is that these open mics with comedians have been going well. I've gotten some laughs. I judge open mics off of like pass or fail. It's one of those things. Like, was it worth doing or was it not? And most of them are very much worth doing, practicing my set and all that. So tonight I'll be in Queens with a real live audience, and that is amazing. My only thing is I hope I don't get too excited and mess up my timing, because I'm too excited to be in front of a crowd. But I know once I get that first laugh, it's going to be all good. And the cool thing about this section in Queens, if you've heard through whatever that, like, oh, New York's not what it used to be. It used to have culture, and now it's a bunch of corporate stuff and all this. This part of Queens, Corona, Queens, still feels like New York in the 90s. It still has that like flavor to it. I'm talking about, you get off the train there at night at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and there's people selling fruit on the streets. There's hookers 2 blocks away. It's hustle and bustle. Everything's in Spanish. It's so freaking cool. So if you're like a tourist that's like, I don't want to do what the tourists do, then the Queens is definitely the place to go, especially if you're trying to get Chinese food and all that. So put it on your list. I personally have not explored Queens a ton yet. The past 3 months, I've mainly been in Manhattan and Brooklyn, but I found some cool spots there because that's like my little side project. So that way, when people come to New York, and they're like, "Yo, Freddie, let's hang out." Blah blah blah. And I can kind of, get a read on people by how they dress and how they communicate and all that, or just if you ever watch their stories, you kind of get an idea, and there's different experiences for different personality types, and that's what I'm trying to build here because I got friends from you know from the hood to the conference room, if that makes sense, and everything in between. So when people do hit me up when they're in town, I want to be able to be like the best fucking tour guide ever. So I hear Queens has the best Chinese food. I asked my buddy because he told me about it. I'm like, yo, so where's like a cool Chinese spot? He's like, I don't do cool. He's like, I don't, he's like, I don't know where the cool restaurants are. I know where the good ones are. And I was like, okay, Poppy, you got it. I was like, you good, bro? Can you tell me where the good restaurants are? And it's one of those like hole in the wall type spots or whatever when it comes to Asian cuisine in Queens. When I do that, I'll let you know. That way I could give you the recommendations. The restaurant I'm going to be at tonight is called Rincon Criollo, I believe. The owner's hosting the show. Shout out to Esther Acosta. She's awesome. And they were on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives twice, bro. This is bomb-ass Cuban food. It's so good. One thing that Hispanic restaurants have started doing that's a little bit annoying, they started plating their food the way that like fancy restaurants do, where they have like the mold of the rice and then the beans in like a separate thing. And that always annoyed me when it come to Hispanic cuisine, because we it's rice, it's maybe the beans are separate, some people throw it on top, but it's like all on the plate together. You mix it up, it's delicious. But with this whole like foodie movement over the past 10 years or so, people have to find a way to fancy it up. And this place does not do that. They stuck to their roots. They've been around since 1976. So if you're looking for good Cuban cuisine in Queens, bro, I'm out here spitting bars. I would check out Rincon Criollo. You might have to flip the words or whatever, but yeah, I had the oxtail there, and it was amazing. And Corona, Queens, if you're looking for culture, it is definitely there. So the other day, I came across my first in a long time, crazy person on the train. And I'm on the platform, right, where everybody's waiting for the train, and you start hearing yelling. I had my headphones in too, just started being comfortable wearing headphones in the city. Walking through the city is great on the right area, Upper West Side, whatever. We don't got to worry about getting punched in the face. Well, I guess everywhere you kind of do a little bit, but with this one, you walk through the city with music, you feel like you're in a music video. It's freaking great. But sometimes on the train, I take them off, and I hear the screaming, and this dude starts just talking shit, and you can just tell he's mentally ill, right? Because the first thing I was like, oh, I should video record this, but like I feel weird recording a dude that's like crazy. I don't mind recording an asshole. If someone's an asshole and they're just being a dick, and it's just, you can tell they're just unraveling, I don't really mind recording that, because you still got your mental faculties. But you can tell this dude, by the shit he was saying, just wasn't right in the head. He was telling the lady at the booth before you cross the turnstile, he was saying stuff like, "I'll take half your check, bitch. I'll take half your check. I don't give a fuck. I'll take half your check, bitch." Like saying stuff like that. And he walked in with 12 packs of Corona bottles. So he's doing okay. He's probably on cloud nine, right? He busts into the train station. Then he goes into the box, rips out a Corona from the box, and opens it up. When you don't have a bottle opener and you don't know how to do the lighter thing, you smash it up against a bench and pop the top. And then he drank it almost like it was like a black Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was a little endearing, right? I was like, all right, maybe this guy will calm down. Did not calm down after the beer. Kept saying, "I'll take half your check, bitch." The train's pulling up, right? So now the train's pulling up. We're kind of, if I didn't purposely go over to the next cart, we would have been in the same exact cart with him. So a lot of people kind of get out of his way. I should have went 2 carts over, but I'm actually glad I did it, because we go over to the next cart. So now we're 1 train cart away. And now there's like at the end of each cart, there's windows that you can see through into the next cart. I can't hear what he's saying, but you could tell he's still on his tirade. He's yelling, right? He's not touching anybody, not hurting anyone. the people on this train are worried. There's a bunch of women on there. And there's a bunch of women, bunch of people, and you can tell they're looking, they're like worried. So I position myself at the door of that cart so that if the guy comes through from the other side, I'd be the first person he runs into. Now you're probably thinking, Freddie, what the fuck are you gonna do? My plan, if he walked through, was not the dumb thing to do would have been to not let him through. That would have been to freak out and be like, you ain't getting through, because then he would have been in between the train carts. And I don't know. I feel like the noise of the tracks would have fucking powered him up, and we would have busted the glass, and it would have been a fight, either 100% a fight if I didn't let him in. So my plan was essentially to just let him walk through, and if he gets like aggressive or touches anybody, then I was gonna, just put him in a hold. I wasn't gonna hit him in the head. I wasn't gonna hurt him. I was just gonna, just tie him up so that he can't move, and then get him off the train. That was my plan. So we were in the train, and this lady's like, is he over there? I'm like, yeah. I'm reporting to there's like 3 people here, and then there's some people sitting back there that don't give a shit. And so I'm reporting to him like, oh no, he's good. He's standing up on the subway seats now. He was yelling whatever he was yelling, this and that. And this is between the last stop we got on and the next stop, right? So he's still yelling, standing on the seats. Train stops. He grabs his Coronas, because you got to grab it for the party just in case. What if that's his pregame? What if that guy at the end of the day was just a normal dude, and this is how he blows off steam? Other than the hour a week he does this, he's just a great husband, great father, but this is how he blows off steam. He goes on the train and just starts yelling shit out and kind of freaking people out. So the lady next to me is like, is he coming over? Is he coming? I'm like, no, it looks like he's exiting the train. So doors open, you see him leave the train. So now I turn because I see him make a left off the train, which is coming towards our cart. There's one freaked out lady. I don't know her, but she pokes her head out. And I was like, why would you, in my head, I'm like, why would you even draw attention to yourself? So dude just comes right into our cart. So now I'm not the first person he sees, but he comes around to the corner. So now I'm the closest person to him. So I face him just to make sure, whatever. He hasn't touched anybody. Hasn't crossed any line whatsoever, other than just like disturbing the peace, which I'm okay with. I think the peace needs to be disturbed just every now and then. He gets up on the subway cart, and he's like on the seats, and and he starts yelling. He's like, they're gonna fuck your kids. They're going to fuck your kids. They're out here fucking kids. The church is out here fucking kids. Now I'm like, whoa. I'm like, this is me on my Instagram making fun of the Catholic Church for the atrocities that they've caused to children across the world. Now he's winning me over at this point. He's like, they're going to fuck your kids. I'm telling you. So it started getting funny to me. I went from less like, all right, I'm Captain America. Everybody in this train's going to be okay. Now I'm back to just regular Freddie. I'm like, just somehow this is actually kind of funny. And then in my head, I'm like, oh, this might be me. If I make a couple of wrong decisions, too many, this will be me on a New York City subway yelling about the atrocities of the Catholic Church. So big ups to that dude for spitting out that message and through the New York City subway system. And then it got dark again, because I in my head, I was like, damn, this dude probably got molested when he was a kid and never healed from it, never worked through it and whatever, and just imploded. And now this is him with 2 12-packs of Corona bottles, slamming him like Stone Cold Steve Austin and yelling about the Catholic Church. So maybe this, I mentioned earlier, maybe he has a great family, whatever. Probably not the case, but maybe this is how he's healing through his trauma. Don't seem very effective, but hey, you can only do what you know how to do, right? Train stops. He grabs his fucking beers. He never forgot the beers. No matter how crazy people don't forget. Crazy people never forget to be racist or the booze that they're that they're consuming. If you ever noticed that. So on his way out, he's like, "Don't fuck no kids. They'll give you 15 in life. Don't fuck no kids." Another good message. Don't fuck kids. Some of the politicians in our country could take a word from this guy. This guy, I think, should get a job in office. I don't think he's that far off from like a Hunter Biden or, insert Democratic and then insert Republican politician that, does drugs and is kind of crazy. There's one on each side. I don't want to fucking split whatever. They're all assholes, okay? So he gets off the train, and I was like, damn. I was like, this dude just came in here and he just spit facts. It was aggressively done. The way in which he did it probably wasn't the best, but he was spitting facts. And I appreciated that. Then it got me thinking about what he said earlier to the MTA, the lady behind the booth before you get through the turnstile on the train. The transit authority lady, when he said, "I'll take half your check," I was, because that's aggressive. What do you mean take half her check? You're gonna fucking rob her? No, I think that was maybe his message on the government overtaxing you. They take about half your check anyway. You know what I'm saying? So this dude is probably on a level that we don't fully understand. And he's powered by 2 12-packs of Corona bottles. 2 12-pack of Corona bottles, just out here spitting facts on a Wednesday, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was a Wednesday night. So that was my experience with a crazy train person. Yeah, so that was that. All right, we're gonna get to a couple of headlines here. The first one is pretty fucking annoying, right? So one thing that annoys the shit out of me in this dating social media sphere is and I've talked about this on the podcast. I did an episode on Kevin Samuels. I think I've talked about Andrew Tate a couple times. And this is why this podcast probably on its own won't like blow up. Cause I don't do, if you're too like balanced and like you try to be fair and look at things the way they are, you don't really whatever. You got to be a firebrand. You gotta say some wild shit to explode, right? Andrew Tate was the most Googled man in 2022. But he wasn't good for the whole. I know a lot of people follow him. I think you guys are a little bit gay for that. I don't like. Why are you looking up to another? Why are you looking up to another dude when you've never met him? Yeah, and you've never read him. You didn't read. It's not like he dropped a body of work. Those videos, I guess, could count. But I'm talking about you didn't read a book. You glorifying a dude, and a lot of dudes are doing this, and it's weird because I think a lot of them just had a tough time with women, as we all do. And they never healed from that. So they feel like one of the pastimes of these types of dudes is sitting around and watching women get dunked on social media. Fresh and Fit is a podcast with two dudes. They always do this. They bring in like early girls in their early 20s, little club hoes, and they read books and watch YouTube videos on all these statistics on men and women and masculine and feminine and evolution. And they drop these so analogies and they wrap it around all these, the percentage of men, and they just make these girls look stupid and make them back down. And then they edit it to be like, oh shit, you shouldn't have fucking done that. It's so fucking gay. And I'm not talking about homosexuality. I think I've done this before already. It's GHEY, okay? It's not homosexuality, because homosexuality to me is arguably the most manly thing you could do. It's two dudes butt fucking. The only more manly you could get is adding another dude, which makes it gayer. So it leads to my point. Being gay is the most manly thing you can do. Check that in your statistics. So, and I think dudes like watching this. They like watching girls because, maybe they can't win an argument at home, or they always felt like they, whatever. They don't have control of their life when it comes to women or to the opposite sex in general. You see this with women on the other side that hate men. It's the same shit. It's really stupid. I'm tired of this man versus woman shit. Let's work together. It's like with the race shit. There's assholes and dipshits and fucking twits across every subculture of life, bro. But there's also good people across every subculture of life. So with this one, this is not Fresh and Fit. This is a different dude on social media. That's the new thing. Dudes talking into microphones aggressively, giving bad advice or giving one-sided advice, or we can call it unhealed advice. So we're gonna go to this video right quick. Oh.
Throughout the course of
Hold
the
on,
night,
let me refresh that.
Breaker. Is it because it makes you insecure?
Let me give you the let me set the groundwork. So the caption says, "Man explains why women should not go out partying with their men." Man explains why women should not go out partying without their men. So you can't, this is like, yo, you can't let your girl go out on a girl's night and have fun. Already disagree, but we're going to watch this video. Get ready. Are we going to listen to the audio?
Because it makes you insecure.
It has nothing to do with insecurity. It's
What
just,
is that?
this is a dream world hypothetical scenario. Girls really don't be hitting up guys like this. Would you be okay with your long-term monogamous partner going to a nightclub, bar, or party type environment where throughout the course of the night, he's going to get approached, flirted with, and sexually pursued by numerous attractive women, some of which are more attractive than you and could potentially be a better partner than you? And these women are buying him drinks, getting him drunk, and enthusiastically want to sleep with him that night and steal him away from you. You're going to tell me you'd be okay with that?
No, not with that.
Well, you shouldn't have been talking shit.
Why is it a deal
All right.
breaker?
I let
Is
that
it
play with
just-
those corny ass edits at the end just to show you how corny that dude is. All right. If your partner folds like a lawn chair the second they're away from you and they start getting attention, at least for me personally, if my girl could go out to fucking Girls Week, she could go to a concert, Drake, she could dance on stage with Drake, I don't give a fuck. But if you cross whatever line we've agreed to at a certain point, right? We make a verbal agreement. This is how our relationship's going to be. And I guess we're talking under the context of monogamy here. We're monogamous. This is me and you. Yeah, cool. You could dance with Drake. Obviously, don't kiss anyone. Don't whatever. The way I like to look at it is, if they were to do that to me, would I be okay with it? Kind of thing. And I guess the takeaway here is, like, if my girl folds because she's out in public and getting attention and at a car, whatever, blah, 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 and guys are constantly trying to fuck her and she folds, then she's not the one for me. I just hope she has the balls to tell me so we can end this. But, like, she's not the one. I'm trying to build the Avengers right now. I can't have you folding over some dick at a club the first night you meet it. It would just immediately turn me off, and I wouldn't even be mad at her. I think I'd be sad, right? If you're feeling someone and they hurt you like that, I would definitely be sad, but I wouldn't take the opportunity to, like, beat them up about it. It just fucking, you charge it to the game, like, straight up. And I don't know. I'm so tired of those social media accounts. So if you want to help this podcast grow, because I'm not going to be the guy that's going to be like, women need to be in the kitchen, chained up. I'm not going to be that person. Go ahead and share an episode. Share an episode that you like of mine or one of your friends and have them subscribe to my podcast, to the YouTube. We taking it slow, baby, but we're going to grow. All right. What are your thoughts on letting your partner go out? Huh? What are your thoughts on that? Let him go out on a guy's night? Because I've definitely had guy friends that, and I think this is a form of emotional abuse, where they would ask their wife, like, it was never early enough that they asked their wife. They could like, day of, hey, I'm gonna go have a beer. Well, you didn't tell me you were doing that. Okay, then he tries to plan it a week in advance, and there's always some issue. Or if he clears all the technicalities, right, the time frame, all that, the mood in the house changes for that week, because she knows he's going to go out with his friends. And this is, like, typically if you're with a jealous person, and a jealous person, even if you're they're not going out with girls or anything, they're jealous that they're having a fun without them. And it's, I've seen it a lot. And I think it's a form of emotional abuse too, where now what happens is, this was what happened to one of my friends. He doesn't even want to ask anymore. They don't even want to go through the energy of asking, because now you essentially got to put together a PowerPoint presentation and with MLA citations and shit just to go and spend time with your friends, which to me is super, super unhealthy. Crazy unhealthy. So what are your thoughts on, do you have an issue with your person being out? Be honest with yourself. Right? And is the issue valid? Maybe that person broke your trust, and you guys are in the process of mending that relationship, which is possible. If you listen to the last episode, I was on with Brittany Prochnow. She's a couples therapist, and one of the questions I asked were, what was one of the things that was demystified for her on her road to becoming a therapist? Like, what was a new thing she learned that made her go, oh shit, and change her mind? And that was that affairs end marriages. Affairs don't necessarily need to end marriages. And I'm with that. Like giving somebody another chance and genuinely working through the the issue and gaining trust and all that. I had to do that when I in my last relationship. I broke up with her at like the 4-year mark, and we got back together, and there was trust issues because of that. So we did couples therapy to build that trust, and then after the trust was mended, I just kept going to therapy because the shit, it makes you a fucking it makes you a superhuman, like makes you a ninja. I'm trying to get more men to go to therapy by doing analogies of them being like ninjas, Rambo, fucking Charles Bronson, Burt Reynolds. I'm trying to cover decades here. You're trying to, and not how those guys actually work, because those guys didn't go to therapy, but you can actually be like the tough guy, but like deep down inside too, if you know how to process your shit. So had a few friends ask me about therapy, and I highly recommend it, dude. You just feel like, I mean, I don't know, you just feel like you're in control. It's really good, and it's a different type of workout. If you're hitting the gym, right? It's a mental and an emotional workout, bro. There's been some therapy sessions where I come out tired. I've had to cancel like plans because I'm like, yo, I'm actually fucking exhausted. So do you let your significant other go out? Well, just think about that. If you have a friend like that, would love to hear about it. I'm 36 now, so maybe most of the people that listen to this podcast are probably in their like late 20s to like mid 40s. So hopefully if you're in your mid 30s, y'all got that figured out, that jealousy stuff. Okay, so next story. This one's gonna be quick because it's gross as shit. If you like Game of Thrones, you might like this. Couple discovered their cousins after 10 years of marriage. Okay, so after 10 years of marriage, I'm calling bullshit. Ain't no way they didn't fucking know. There's no way they didn't know. They just got caught by the wrong person. Oh my God. The first comment from somebody on this Instagram shit says, who they fooling? They probably always knew. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what? I don't even know how I would handle this one. I mean, this is a couple discovered their cousins after 10 years of marriage. That has to be like part of a green initiative, right? That has to be good for the environment. That has, right? Reuse, recycle. If you just keep it in the family, right? I'm trying to look at this in a positive way. This is fucked up. I would love to know how they're doing. Honestly, dude, I would never do this because I don't. Oh, a lot of the comments are actually saying, stop it. They knew, the family knew. Oh, damn. Yeah, family gathering, bro. There's no way you don't fucking know, dog. I'm sorry. I don't know. Shout out to them. Honestly, dude, I'm not pro incest, but in this case, dude, they get 10 years of marriage. Here's the thing: if they're what if they're in a emotionally available, healthy ass relationship? Like it's a great. It's like, other than them being cousins, it's a couple's goal type of relationship. Would that change your mind on this? Because if they're a healthy relationship, I say we let them roll with it, man. Don't even give them shit about it. Because we have so many shit relationships out there, bro, that we need good examples of good ones. So I hope these two cousins that are married for 10 years, I really do hope they're healthy, and I hope they last forever. Okay, there it is. That was it. That was that story. Okay, PSG, professional soccer. G, I don't know what the G stands for because I don't watch soccer because I'm a man. Akraf Hakimi wife filed for divorce and wanted more than half of the Moroccan footballer's property and fortune. When they arrive in court, they realize that Hakimi had nothing. Hakimi had put his entire fortune under his mother's name a long time ago. Goddamn. So I once again, we just read headlines here at FredTalk, right? We're just like everybody else, but we're honest about it. Okay. Filed for divorce. On top of this, he receives $1 million per month from his pay from PSG. This is a soccer guy, right? These guys get money, they get ass. I think every girl that's cheated on me has cheated on me with a soccer player, which is probably why I they got to go through more clearances than the rest of the people for me. JK. It was found that holds nothing in his name, his car's property, everything belonged to his mom. So I'm down with this. If assuming he wasn't abusive, right? This is under the context that he's not abusive, he wasn't an asshole. Because to me, a failed, like, I don't know, man. A failed relationship to me is like, how are we ending? Or if we're ending and we're trying to hurt each other, that to me, that would break my fucking heart. I would consider myself that a failed relationship. But if you can last, if you found each other better than you found each other, or what is it? Leave each other better than you found each other, and you grow through, but sometimes things have to end, that's fine. And I'm not just saying that because that was my last relationship, but it's just, yeah, having the relationship end where she's trying to now take half. Like, we don't know. Once again, it seems like it was like, I'm trying to hurt you type thing. I'm taking half because I'm trying to hurt you. In which case, shout out to this dude for putting everything under his mother's name to protect himself. Because a lot of times in this situation, dudes are at a disadvantage when it comes to courts and all that. She don't look like she could cook or anything. She don't look like she's taking care of the home either. I'm just kidding. That's a she's too hot to be doing stuff joke, guys. No, but usually dudes get screwed in the court system. He looks like a good dude, but guess what? He is a soccer player, though. Like I mentioned before, you got to watch soccer players. At the higher level they are, the more deceitful they are. These guys, they aren't only quick on their feet. You know what I'm saying? These guys, they're moving around life like this in their head, dude. In their head. So we know nothing about this story. But if the dude wasn't an asshole, I just hope the better person wins here. And I'm going off of my gut with very minimal information, which is really just all my whole life. Gut instinct, minimal information, 100% confidence, baby. Confidence with minimal information and just doing works way better. I tried thinking, dude. Thinking is not fun. Thinking might also be gay as well. You shouldn't be thinking too much. You should only think as much as you need to. I guess you shouldn't overthink is what I'm saying, right? You just need to be thinking. That's it. Like, when I'm around people, I try to shut my brain off. If I can get around someone that makes me shut my brain off easier, bro, that's the sweet spot right there. Find somebody that makes you stop thinking without you even knowing it. Time just passes by because you get lost in their eyes. You get lost in the curves of the body, you know? You get lost in their cheekbones, their hair, right? You get lost where you're like, oh, she's like, should I get bangs? And then you're like, you came to the wrong place because I actually fetishize bangs myself. So this could be a problem. You get lost in the conversation with them. You get lost in their soul, deep within who they are. Get with someone like that, right? We shouldn't be overthinking, yo. If you're an overthinker and you're about to hit 40, bro, that's not a good look, man. Figure it out. Go to therapy, okay? I'm pretty sure that I hit the commitment on time here on 20 minutes. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm smiling so hard right now. And if you know, okay? I'm excited for this show. I'm excited for everything going on in life. Thank you all for supporting me. I really, really do appreciate you, whether it's Instagram, getting me interviewees. If you know someone that's a couples counselor that wants to get on, that's pretty much the only conversations I'm having. Also, if you just want to speak honestly about like a relationship, I'm looking for interesting conversations here. Not Instagram quotes, okay? Give me some real life shit. But we do mostly solos now on FredTalk. So it's just me and you, and we're hanging out. And I appreciate you. So I love you. Have a great day. Bye.